Hello, Pooja.
Hi, good evening,
Namaste.
Mohit.
Namaste. How are
Namaste.
you?
I'm good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Let me just update all the attendees who are here for your presentation. Welcome, friends. Welcome, Pradeep ji. Welcome, Isha. Welcome, Karma. Welcome, Mukesh. So there are people still joining in, and it's wonderful to see you all here. This is a path-breaking webinar. E-waste is not much talked about these days, or it's now coming into limelight. People are still talking about plastic waste and other kind of pollutants, but e-waste is still missing its its position. So we need to really tackle that now and talk about e-waste, which is really a sort of a curse on this planet, and we need to know what to do with it. We have the expert today, Pooja Gulati, with us from Chintan Environmental Research and Action Group. So friends, before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself. A lot of you already know me. I'm Mohit Aggarwal, the founder of Asian Adventures, which is a 30-year-old conservation travel company. And I hold the position of vice chair in Asian Ecotourism Network, which is the Asian chapter of Global Ecotourism Network. And I conduct these webinars regularly to educate people on various fronts related to nature and conservation and other earth-friendly practices. Today we have an expert with us, Pooja Gulati from Chintan Environmental Research and Action Group, which was founded about 20 years ago by Bharti Chaturvedi, who is the founder and director of Chintan. And they've done path-breaking work in the field of waste and garbage and various other things related to the planet. And then also must tell you that many years ago, they came up with a comic book that changed the way I looked at e-waste. And this comic book was so interesting that it showed the plight of the people who were dealing with e-waste and the e-waste, the dangerous stuff that it sort of produces and what it can do to harm humans and other life forms on the planet. So over to you, Pooja. Let's get started. We've got people coming in and they'll keep coming in. Later at the end, right in the end, we will have question and answers. If you've got questions, you can put them in the chat. If you can hear me well, just say yes, so I know that we are all good to go with this webinar. And just in case if there's a drop in the cabin pressure, internet, we will reboot the system and you stay on. Don't go anywhere. I have a panic button here, which will reboot the system. So don't go anywhere in case if it drops. Great. Go ahead, Pooja. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohit. Thank you for introduction. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar on e-waste sustainability. I am Pooja from Chintan Environmental Research and Action Group, and I am thrilled to have you all here. I would like to thank Asian Adventures for putting this session together and to all of you for taking the time to join us. I will start with a brief presentation. So I hope everyone can see the presentation.
Yes, I think it's good. Pooja,
Okay,
go right ahead.
So I will just give a brief about what Chintan does. Chintan Environmental Research and Action Group. It's a non-profit circular society do tank that improves the lives, livelihood, and the leadership of the people who contribute the least to environmental pollution and climate change while combating the excessive and inequitable consumption that causes it. Chintan's actions are rooted in inclusive, science-based policy and research to identify challenges and advocate for changes both within and outside the government. Chintan works to identify intersectional needs and amplify relevant voices. So this is a little brief about what Chintan does. So before we move further, I would like to do a quick poll. If we can just type it in chat, that how many of you are aware of where your e-waste goes after disposal. If you can just chat it, if you can just type it in the chat, yes or no, that'll be really helpful. Oh, wow. I can see. Okay, great. Thank you very much. So I could see the responses. So let's see how the perception changes after, it is being presented. So what is electronic waste? When we talk about e-waste, it's an electronic waste. So electronic waste or e-waste, it refers to the discarded electrical and electronic equipments that is no longer wanted or are not functional. For example, like the computers, smartphones, chargers, household appliances, smartphones, television. So these all are the parts of the electronic waste. When they stopped working, we call them electronic waste. So I would like to share some interesting facts here that globally, e-waste contributes approximately 2.7% to the total solid waste generated each year, with estimates suggesting that about 50 million tons of e-waste are discarded annually worldwide. In India, the situation is particularly concerning. It ranks as the third largest producer of e-waste in the world, generating around 2 million tons annually. So the growth rate, if you can see the growth rate of e-waste in India is alarming. So India witnessed a surge in electronic waste generating over the past 5 years, rising from 1.01 million metric tons in 2019-20 to 1.751 million metric ton in 2023-24. And if you see, actually it's a growth of 10% every year. And the national level figures reveal a concerning 72.54% increase in e-waste generation since 2019-20. So basically, the reason behind is that there's a growth of the information and communication technology, which has enhanced the usage of electronic equipments exponentially. That is the reason the e-waste is rising each year. So let's understand, we generate a lot of e-waste around us, in our offices, in our homes. So what happens to the e-waste? Since most of, you have written that, that informal waste collectors collect them, or some are recycled or given to the civic bodies. So let me just give you a brief about it. If you can see on the slide that there are two types of recycling it can be done. So one is the informal recycling. That includes the local kabadiwalas, where we give our chargers or maybe old, wires, we give it to them. And they are basically informal scrap dealers. What they do is they take the e-waste, they burn them or dismantle them unsafely, which causes pollution. The second option is we give it to the authorized recyclers. So there are government-approved recyclers who safely extract these valuable material at a particular place, and which reduces the pollution and prevents health risk. I would like to show you some pictures here for your understanding. If you can see, this is the Delhi's Selampur, which is the India's largest informal e-waste market. Here, thousands of workers dismantle, sort, and extract valuable material from discarded electronics. But if you can see, it's lying everywhere. It's creating a pollution. There's a lot of things which comes out of this, which is very hazardous for environment. if you see the next slide, you can see two figures here. The first figure is about, it shows that how e-waste is dumped informally, and the next figure shows that how improper management of waste leads to fire. This is a fire which happened at the Bhalaswa landfill. Now you can imagine how important it is to manage waste, especially the e-waste, which is the hazardous waste, which can lead to release of toxic gases, which leads to the contamination of human health and environment. In this picture, you can see, if you can see, this is the informal way of extracting valuables by burning e-waste. So it's creating a lot of pollution here. One more interesting fact I would like to share here is that, if you can see, there are now more than mobile phones than the people on the planet. If you can see the figures, it says there are 8.58 billion mobile phones, and the people are 7.95 billion. So imagine, the e-waste and the impact, and the impact of this e-waste, and if we don't act it now. Just to give you a brief, we're talking about health hazards due to e-waste. So how should we, why do we need to manage e-waste? We're talking about e-waste, which is being recycled informally and formally. So why do we need to manage e-waste? So the e-waste can, however, be considered hazardous if recycled by primitive methods. Supposedly, if we are giving to a local kabadi wala, or we are throwing it in, in the dustbin. So these are the primitive methods. And the e-waste contains several components, such as lead, mercury, cadmium, chromium, and other toxins, which can be potentially toxic and hazardous to environment and human health if it is not handled in an environmentally sound manner. If you can see in this slide, if you can see, there are various sources and their components. So it is, if you can see, the lead, which can be the source of lead, is the batteries, solder, and other components. If it is burned in open, what happens is it creates a lot of health issues. There are lot of health risks associated with this e-waste. Suppose if the lead is burning, so the informal waste picker, even the people around them, they will have a lot of problem, like the nervous system problem. It can cause damage to the circulatory system and the kidney. And mercury, if the mercury is if it is found near to the place where the e-waste is burned, so it can damage the brain. It also causes the respiratory and skin disorders due to bioaccumulation in fishes. Cadmium, which is used in batteries and some electronic components, it causes toxic irritability, and it affects the human health. It also accumulates in our kidneys and liver. So therefore, electronic items must be recycled appropriately to protect people and environment from dangerous contamination. So if you can see that, there are a lot of health risks associated with e-waste, that there are a lot of respiratory issues, skin irritation, there is a neurological damage if we are burning the e-waste in open and in informal ways. So the improper disposal and recycling of e-waste lead to numerous problems. Health risks associated with e-waste include respiratory issue from inhaling the toxic fumes and the skin diseases from direct contact with hazardous material. Additionally, if you see, the children and the vulnerable people are the most affected due to this pollution, due to the high susceptibility in the environment toxics. If you can see, the informal e-waste recycling may cause adverse health effect in children. They are very vulnerable. So even it affects the adverse birth outcomes. It changes the immune system function. There could be a cardiovascular function problem, impaired neurological development. So these are the problems, which we can see nowadays. But we don't realize that e-waste is one of the issues which burning of e-waste in open is one of the issues which is causing a problem, which is not being highlighted everywhere. So our question is, and to overcome this, we are talking about e-waste and how we can, how it is affecting the problem. So what is government doing? So in the Indian government, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, along with the Ministry of Electronic and Information Technology, they play a crucial role in managing e-waste by various initiatives they have. So they have, the first initiative is the e-waste management rule, which was, it was started in 2022. So MOEFCC notified e-waste management rules in 2016 and then revised them in 2022. And it was enforced on 1st April 2023. So as per this rule, the aim of this rule is to manage e-waste in an environmentally safe manner and promote circular economy through various components such as EPR. So when we talk about EPR is the extended producer responsibility. So this rule talks about, it mandates that, a manufacturer, a producer, a refurbisher, or a recycler, a registered recycler, not the informal, is a they have developed a portal which is developed on CPCB website, that is Central Pollution Control Board website, where producers of these equipment must ensure their products do not contain hazardous substances beyond a prescribed limit, and they are held responsible for collecting a certain quantity of e-waste. So they all have to register themselves on this website. This was one of the initiatives which was introduced by the Indian government. Apart from this, there are a lot of international conventions which happens throughout the year. There are various global agreements which aim to regulate transboundary movement and disposal of hazardous e-waste. So these are the certain policies which has been, initiatives taken by the government to control the e-waste burning. So if you can see the slide, you can see it's talking about e-waste management rule 2022, where EPR the companies they have an EPR initiative where the companies must collect and recycle a certain percentage of e-waste they produce, and they have to register themselves, which is a mandate for them under CPCB website. And there are strict penalties, for the companies who are dumping the e-waste illegally, and they are fined under the environmental compensation system. But we're talking about, we are creating e-waste, there is informal segment, there is formal segment, there are a lot of policies. So as an individual, as a person, so where should we dispose of the e-waste? If I have a charger at home, old mobile phone, old tab, old computer, so as a person, or maybe as an organization, if I'm working in a corporate, where should we dispose of e-waste? So there are various ways where we can dispose of the e-waste. There are authorized collection centers who are registered on CPCB website. So one can see them there, and you can call them and you can give them the e-waste. There are a lot of programs which are run by Apple, Apple, Samsung, Dell, where the manufacturer take back the old phones or old laptops, and they give discounts, and they don't, and that's the way they take back the e-waste. Another initiative is the e-waste collection drives. We in Chintan, we have a how Chintan manages our e-waste. We have an initiative called the Pick My Trash initiative. It's called the PMT initiative, wherein it's an where you can call us and we can pick up the e-waste collectively from your household. We have these services in the households at specific areas in Delhi. But if you are, you want to collect it as a corporate, you can collect it together and you can call us, we can come and collect it. We also have a lot of e-collection drives at various locations in societies. We also create a lot of school awareness sessions in schools and in colleges for youth. And we try and collect, we have a lot of collection of, e-waste drives, so that whatever e-waste you have at home, you are thinking of just throwing it away or dumping it in dustbin or, giving to kabadi walas, just bring it at the center and we will take care of this. So I just, what do we do? We are providing this service. So what do we do with the waste which is collected? So it's quite interesting if you see this process. So we have a lot of drives, e-waste collection drives. We collect the e-waste, the old e-waste, and then we categorize the e-waste, and then we transport it to the authorized recycler, which is authorized recycler by the government. Then there, at the authorized recycler, the items are taken apart to separate different materials like metal, plastic, and glass. The batteries and cartridges are specially recycled, and any remaining part are broken out into small pieces. And material like glass, plastics, and metals are further sorted and sent for use. So this is how we give it to the authorized recycler so that it is not burnt openly anywhere, and it is proper recycled, and we try and complete the circular economy so that whatever best can be reused, it can be reused in a proper way. So this is what Chintan does after collecting through our PMT services. So our request is, don't let your waste go waste. You can reach out at this number. We will be sharing the presentation, or you can write it to us, pmt.pickmytrash.gmail.com, and we would be happy to serve you in Delhi. We have these services in Delhi at right now, and if you would like to do in corporates, you can collectively do a e-waste drive, and we can collect the e-waste. And as a responsible citizens, so we would help you to take a pledge here to follow the 5 R's. First is start refusing things. Don't buy gadgets which you don't need. Start refusing things so that we have a lesser electronic usage. Start reducing it. Purchase durable electronic devices and use devices for a long time before replacing them. Reuse them. To donate or repair old electronic device instead of discarding them. If that can be repaired or upgraded, please do that. If you want to recycle, give it for recycling, give it to an authorized e-waste recycler rather than giving to a kabadiwala. And you support organizations working to promote sustainable e-waste management. Just spread the word across that it should be responsibly discarded or recycled. So let's try to be a responsible digital citizen. Choose sustainability. Thank you very much. So I would like to ask if somebody has some questions on this.
Friends, if you've got questions, please type them in the chat box.
I could see that, I could see, there are few questions like we have collection centers. I'm afraid we do not have collection centers in Mumbai right now. We have it in Delhi itself. So if you have some offices in Mumbai, in Delhi, so maybe you can, send it to your office, and you can have a joint collection drive in your corporate office, and we can, we can pick from there. We can, in fact, arrange a e-collection drive in your office here if you are based in Delhi or Gurgaon.
Excellent. There's another question here, Pooja, which says, what are the international laws, regulations, or policies that are imposed and using current practice?
The international laws say there are a lot of conventions which keeps on happening, and they keep on coming up with different laws, like you cannot export or import certain kind of electronic to a country. So there are certain laws which we can share with you if you would like to have.
Friend, I posted Pooja's email ID here, which is pooja2@chintan-india.org. You can always write to her.
Yes.
And somebody from our office will respond to you. There is another question that says, do you accept e-waste outside of India?
I'm sorry, we do not. Yeah, I'm sorry, we do not accept e-waste outside of India, because we are only Delhi, we are only doing the services in Delhi, in India. And if I can see, there is one more question, that I am a teacher in Delhi. Yes, we can do that from your society. If it's, we are doing in 3 societies right now, which is in South Delhi. You can write it to me on my email ID, and we can do that. In fact, since you are being a teacher in Delhi, we can have a e-waste collection drive in your school itself. And if you would like to have, we also have a lot of awareness session for nudging that to the children also, so that they also get aware about what e-waste is, and they should not dispose it informally. They should not give it right away to kabadi wala. We tell them what is informal and formal ways of disposing it off. So we can work on that. We can collaborate for that.
Wonderful. Then there is another one by Nishan. There is a doubt that many have: data in phones, laptop, etc. How to erase them before giving to recycle?
See, when you give it to the government recyclers, so they have certain conditions to the government that they cannot use the data. Maybe you can just delete the data and reboot it. So I think the old data gets deleted. That's why the authorized recyclers, they cannot use the data.
Okay,
So Pradeep ji is also
understood.
here.
Yeah. So Isha is asking, they're an NGO and they're collection partners of an authorized recycler.
Okay,
Do we
great.
need to register with CPCB?
Yes, I think everybody has to register with CPCB, and I think Mr. Redlani is also here. He would be able to, he is an expert on this field, so maybe he would like to throw some light on this.
Why he's asking you to throw some light on it. Annual EPR targets for different categories of PIBOs under the new e-waste management rules. Can you please throw some light on this?
Annual EPR targets for different categories. Yes, we will have to wait for this. I'm working on this because I have not, read about this. So
Okay.
I will, maybe we can interact it offline, Mr. Redlani.
Is there gold in phone chips? Vasanta is asking.
Not really. I think nowadays it's not there. Not really.
How can batteries get disposed safely?
Batteries has a separate system. That's why when I was just sharing the slide, so batteries are disposed of by the authorized recycler. They have a different system of recycling it. So that is not done, as a normal. That's not disposed of as a normal this thing. They have a different process.
Anne is asking, do factories set off the laptop and phone before sending it for recycling?
Factories.
Okay, just saying factory set, meaning I guess you do a factory set reset the laptop and phone before sending it
Yes.
for recycling.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
Then there's another one from Soumya. Do authorized recyclers also repair products?
No, they do not. They do not. And most of the authorized recyclers are not based in the city. They are the outskirts of the city, which is a place which is specified by the government. So they just take it, dismantle it, take out the products and reuse them. Yes, the AA batteries also go on e-waste.
Yes, chargers, batteries.
Yes, everything goes on e-waste. Yes.
Yeah, all the wires, things like that, they all going to be e-waste. I think that's all for now. But it was a fantastic webinar. I think it's much needed. What you can do is, do you still have those copies left with you of those comics that were produced, black and white ones on e-waste?
I'll have to check in my office. Maybe we will have a softer copy, and that can be shared. Yes.
Yeah, if you can share that soft copy, then we'll circulate it to all the people, and it should go out to everyone. I think Bharti had said that she wanted to do one in Hindi because I wanted that to go to the rural areas of India, especially up in the Himalayas.
I think my colleague Srijan has just shared the link to the soft
Oh,
copy of
okay.
this. Thank you,
Wonderful.
Srijan.
Wonderful. That's fantastic. So that was wonderful, Pooja. And I think, Pooja, you'd be there at the Global Wildlife Fair in October,
Let's
which
hope,
is going to
yes.
happen in Delhi.
Yes.
And a whole lot of other people are also going to be there. I'm posting some links here for Global Wildlife Fair and for Asian Adventures, just in case if you want to know what is Global Wildlife Fair all about and when is it happening, and how to participate or take part and be there to know more about it. Just click the link here. And this also is being carried in the replay of this webinar. Friends, everybody will get a replay of this webinar. Feel free to share it with others, or even show it in your schools, in your society, to your relatives, and urge them. It's not long. We've just taken half an hour, and it's been really a fantastic knowledge session that we all need to be aware of. So
I would like
please
to
feel free
add on
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Sorry, I would like to add on here that if I as I have shared that we have Pick My Trash services. If you are based out in Delhi, so that's the that's the lowest which you can reach upon. Please reach to us for Pick My Trash services for collecting e-waste. Even if you are in school or societies, we'll be there to help you out.
Okay. I have loads of it. I have a few sacks, which I've collected, and I don't know. I won't send it to you. If you tell me where to send it, I'll send it directly. There's no need to go the other way. Fantastic, friends. So thank you for being here, and thank you for attending this webinar. Tomorrow we have another webinar, which is going to be a panel discussion on human-elephant conflict. And that's been organized by Wildlife Trust of India. So you would get an email from us, and please be there tomorrow as well. Have a great day, Pooja. Thank you for bringing
Thank
this.
you, Mohit. Thank you, everyone, for being so patient and listening. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.